friends, and welcome to another reading vlog. Today is Sunday the 26th, and I still have a day and a half of weekend because it's Memorial Weekend here in the States, and I'm so excited. I just finished cleaning my entire apartment. I made some goodies because I'm hosting a movie night tomorrow night, and now I'm going to try to finish Aurora Rising. I have like 200 pages left. It's going really quick right now because I'm into the action, and I've actually read that book pretty quickly just in general because I read it on a 3-hour plane ride. I got through basically what I've got through, and then this morning before church I went to a coffee shop and I read like almost 100 more pages in like an hour. It's going really quickly, and it's broken up by all these like different things, so it's really nice. So that's my first goal for the week. Also, I started listening to Genesis, which is the second in the Nemesis trilogy by Brendan Reichs. I'm enjoying it mostly because I want to know what the point of the story is. I don't want to like spoil anything for the first one for you, but if you watched my wrap up of that book from, I think it was in last month's, I can't even remember, I think I listened to it last month. It just had a weird ending, which is why I kept going, because I wanted to know what was coming next. And I'm listening to it on Scribd, but I also have the physical book if I want to plow through. I set up a cute bookends on the top of one of my shelves. Let's see if you can see it. Over there, which are all my immediate TBR books now. So I think I might start either Hunted or one of the books, which I just showed you the shelf, but I won't tell you which ones are part of a secret TBR that I have going. I finally have a secret video, guys. Normally I don't do any like secret-y things, but I might start one of those just because I don't want that video to take forever. Also, I have the Arc of Soul of the Sword on my Kindle, which I should get through as soon as I can because that book comes out the beginning of July. So those are kind of the goals for the week. I would like to do that, as well as whenever Murphy is going to read East, that's when I'm going to read it, because we're going to buddy read that one, and it will only take me a few hours because it's one of my favorite books ever, and it's pretty basic, middle grade. It's funny that it's my favorite book ever, and it's a middle grade, because I don't generally like middle grade, but I've liked that book since I was in middle grade. Anyway, enough rambling. I will let you go, and I'll pop in later. Bye. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in to share some cool things that I just got in the mail. Yes, I'm still ill. I have been sick off and on for 2 weeks now, and again I had a flare up yesterday and my throat was just on fire. So I worked from home, and then today I went into work, which is why I actually look put together, and after making like 15 phone calls, I just couldn't talk anymore. So I came home and I had a few goodies. So I want to share those, and then the rest of my day today I'm going to redo my nails because they're horrible, and I picked up some cute new colors. So I'm going to do that and watch some things. But 5 things, but 2 fun things came in the mail. First off, I finally found a seller who actually had the original copy of the second Grishaverse book, Siege and Storm. If you will see in an unhaul that's going up, I believe it's going up on Friday, maybe, I don't know, I pre-filmed a bunch, that I got another Rune and Rising that was the wrong copy. That was the 3rd time I ordered and got the wrong one when they showed these covers. So I just don't know what to do, because it's like people are showing the original covers and they're sending me the new ones, which I don't have a problem with. I'm growing to hate them though, because I already have the new covers. I want the original covers. I've given up trying to find them in hardcover because they're kind of expensive if you can, but I want the original covers of these. And so I finally got the second one, so now I'll just keep ordering the 3rd one, I guess. I'm not paying tons for it, but it's a pain because when you get it from eBay, to return it is awful, and I can't find it on Amazon. So it's just been a pain, but I'm not going to give up. I'm gonna keep looking. But yeah, I finally got book 2. So I'm really happy. This is the UK version. It's really cool. So I'm very excited about that. And then after watching a couple videos, I watched one that Jess at Peace Love Books did, as well as the Tiny Tea Set. I can't remember her first name, I'm sorry, but she is so adorable. She's a newer channel, and she's gonna be big, guys, I'm telling you. Her personality is amazing, and just the way she talks and explains books is awesome. And she reads a lot of historical romance, and she was talking about Kathleen E. Woodwis, who I'd heard a lot about, and she actually wrote the original like historical romance that was like a bodice ripper, so had steamy scenes in it. And it's so crazy, but I ended up ordering it. So this is The Flame and the Flower, and this is apparently the first one. It was written in 1972 originally. And yeah, you can tell, I think this printing is from the 90s though, but they used to be only $4.99 for these, which is so crazy. That's about what I paid for it now too, as a used book. I got these off of Thrift Book. And then I ordered 3 other ones of hers as well. I've heard The Flame and the Flower, because it's a chunker for historical romance, that it might not have the greatest story that I like, because it's kind of got a rapey storytelling to it, which, I mean, it was the first one ever, so we'll see, you know, what trends I see in it. I'm not sure. I might do a reading vlog when I read this one, for my romance lovers out there, because you are strong. I saw how many of you watched my historical romance recommendations, but even if it ends up not being great, I still wanted to check out the lady who started one of my favorite like genres. Like, I love smutty historical romance, and it sounds like from her is where it all came from. And yeah, like everybody came after her. So anyway, just wanted to check in. Probably not going to start these right now. I'm just going to get them entered into my spreadsheet. What I am reading right now, I might as well give you an update for that. I started The Dragon Reborn last night. I wasn't planning to read this month, as you'll have seen from my TBR, but a couple of my other friends are going to be reading it, and I just can't miss out. So I'm at least going to start it so that I know what they're talking about. I don't know if I'll finish it. I'm halfway through, well, less than halfway through The Antidote by, I don't have it near me, but it's by Sakier is the last name. I'm reading this for a special project that you guys don't know about, and I'm not loving it. I've reached the point where I normally would DNF though, and dang it, right at 100 pages, it had an interesting twist happen. So I'm going to keep going, but I mean, it's on track for a 3-star or less. Like, it definitely won't be more than a 3-star. So the best it can hope for is a 3 right now, in my opinion, just for how confusing the story is and how weak the beginning is. But I'm not going to talk too much about this book because it'll be in a special. And then I also started East, because I'm reading this with Murphy. It's my favorite book ever. If you've been around ever, it was the first book I ever reviewed on my channel. So if you look that video up, be warned, it's not the best quality you've ever seen. But I'm reading it slowly because it's a really fast read. And I know some of you have read it off of my recommendation, and I'm so honored. I hope you've loved it as much as I did. And I don't like middle grade, and this is my favorite book of all time. And it's interesting to me how that happens. But all right, enough talk. I'm going to get my work done here. And then I'm going to make myself some soup and put on comfier clothes, and probably going to binge some Booktube and or Outlander season 4, because that just came out yesterday and I got the beautiful box set of it. So anyway, I'll check in with you again soon. Hey guys, it is Thursday night. I'm in bed, obviously. Haven't filmed a clip in bed in a while. This feels intimate. I've had kind of a rough week so far. In the last clip you saw, I was still pretty sick. It's almost gone now. I will be only too pleased when this illness has left me. I'll tell you that. yeah, what was I going to say? I've also had kind of a rough reading week, which I'll talk about more in the wrap up. But basically, to console myself, I pulled East out and I'm going to get going on it. I've read about 50 pages. It's a really quick read, so I'm probably going to read like 50, 75 pages before I go to bed. And then the next time I check in should be my wrap up, and I'll tell you a little bit about why I had a rough reading week here. It was interesting, is the polite term for it. And now I'm going to go because this double chin is killing me. But talk to you soon. Hey everybody, it is Saturday, so time to wrap this puppy up, right? I've had a very interesting reading week, as you'll have seen from the clips previously. I am dressed. I'm going to a bridal shower that is panda themed, so that's why I'm in black and white. Not my normal like color scheme, but I like it. It's gonna be fun. So let's dive in because this clip's gonna be pretty long, as you can see. All right, what did I even start with this week? Okay, I think I started with The Antidote, which I'm read for a secret project. I love being mysterious. And I made it 150 pages in and I DNF'd it. So this story was very confusing to me. It's about this girl named Ophelia who is a healer slash like an herbalist. And she's like an apprentice to a more experienced herbalist, but she is also best friends with the Crown Prince and engaged to the Crown Prince's younger brother. Don't know quite why an herbalist is engaged to a prince. Still don't understand. I left at 150, but something in this land left the land cursed and everybody got sick. Half the people died. Half again of that group of people left to protect themselves from dying, and the last quarter of people stayed, including the Crown Prince and Ophelia. And they have to take an antidote every day to keep themselves from dying from the same thing that the original group of people died for. And so the prince that Ophelia is supposed to marry, as well as the princess that Zavi is the name of the Crown Prince is engaged to, they have been away for all this time, and it's time for them to come back because the quarantine is over and there's a murder plot and confusing relationships because you think that Fee would rather marry Zavi, but she does still love the other prince she's engaged. It's so, guys, I don't even know how to unpack this. I gave it, because I give every book 100 pages before I DNF. That's my rule. And right at 100 pages, something interesting happened finally. So I was like, okay, I'll keep going. But I got to 150 and I just didn't care. I'll have a more concise review of this when it gets wrapped up for the secret project that I'm doing. So sorry there's not more of an answer, but I did not like it. I didn't give it a score because books I DNF I don't score, but I would have given it a 2 stars if I'd kept reading. After that, I picked up The Flame and the Flower by Kathleen E. Woodwiss, and I was very excited to get this. As I said in the clip earlier, this is the original Bodice Ripper, and I really wanted to have it. So, like, first historical romance with, like, smutty scenes in it. And it's a rape fantasy. That's what it is. This girl named Heather gets... First, she is going to be raped by her aunt's brother. So, like, not her uncle, but, like, her aunt's brother. And she escapes from him. And she kills him when she does. This is like the intro to this. And so these 2 men come up to her. She's wandering around, doesn't know what to do. Her family won't take her back. And she gets approached by these 2 men who think she's a prostitute. But she thinks that she's getting arrested for killing this guy. So she goes with them. they bring her to their captain, who is looking for a prostitute because they just got into port. And she doesn't realize what's happening until he's raping her. And when she fights it, he thinks that it's an act because he thought she was a prostitute. So she just, and when it's done, he's like, "You're a virgin. You could have charged more." Yeah. And then he's like, "Well, I've already taken your virginity now, so you should be my mistress because no one will take you back now." And she doesn't want to do that, but he's the captain of his ship, so he ends up forcing her into marriage and continues raping her. And eventually, I didn't finish this book, okay, but I looked it up. So I'm sorry that I'm spoiling this, but I DNF'd it and I couldn't give it a score, but I would give it a 0. A 0. And eventually, she'll love him, even though he's been raping her for all this time. So, not good. Not good, my friends. The only thing that I'll say for it is that I remember back in like 10th grade when I started reading historical romance with some smutty times in it, I read Catherine Coulter books. And she has a character and a situation that is very close to this. And when I was 17, I thought it was a good story. So, I definitely know that there was a time, you know, where this was good. But now as an adult who's read a lot of romance and I realize the importance of consent, I see that that is exactly what would be called a rape fantasy. And I just can't read that and I can't suggest it. But I did still want to own the very first historical romance. So I'm still going to keep it. I'm just never going to read it. But I'll keep it as in you keep a really pretty copy of something. Because it's cool that it's the first one. And you know, if she'd been writing today, Kathleen E. Woodwis, bless her soul, is passed, I don't believe she would still be writing this. So I would like to read one of her, like, final works she wrote, because I did buy a few of her books, but at least 2 of them, I think, also follow this kind of plot. Because we didn't know better back then. So I don't give it a pass for the content, but I give it the praise it deserves for starting the genre that I love. This is not the kind of writing that Tessa Dare or Julia Quinn would ever do. Consent is always on display in their books, and this was not. So after that garbage, I had to pick up something I knew I would like because I was dying inside. So I picked up Beautiful Stranger, which is the next book in the Beautiful Bastard series. Christina Loren, these were like Twilight fan fiction. The first one was, this one's not. So this one's about Sarah, who's Chloe's friend from the first one, and Max Stella. And they meet at a club and they have sex in the corner. And they realize they both like being a little bit voyeuristic. So they start a relationship based on having sex in unusual places. So, trashy, fun. These books read so fast. I read this in 2.5 hours, and it was a good thing I did, because after reading 2 duds in a row, I was going into a reading slump hard. So I gave this, I think, like 3.5 stars. It wasn't the best story, but it was easily read, and it was fun and sexy. So there you go. It still had to have. The book is almost over, and I was like, look. We got through a whole romance without having a stupid misunderstanding. And then there was a misunderstanding. The most stupid one I've ever seen. So that's why I gave it 3.5. Is because that misunderstanding made no sense. So last 2 things. I started Dragon Reborn. I'm only onto the 3rd chapter. I wasn't even planning to read this month. You'll have seen from my TBR. But Murphy's going to read it this month, and I don't want to get behind her. So I'm just starting it, and I'm treating it like other buddy reads. I'm just trying to read a couple chapters a day, and then a couple chapters a day make a whole book. That's what I did with the last 2. This is the 3rd book in the Wheel of Time. I'm not going to go into a description of this, but I'm excited for this one. I've heard this is where things really pick up, and I can feel that already. I'm very intrigued by what's happening. And then finally, I started East. As you will have seen, I am 160 pages in. I'm going to read this for the next couple hours before I have to go to my bridal shower. Also, the Biblo game started today, so I have to keep track of my pages and my challenges, and I'm really excited. The hero team is like the smallest team because everyone thinks heroes are boring, which that's stupid. I love the heroes. So I really gotta represent for all our hero people. So these are the books that I read or attempted to read this week. Thank you so much for watching this video. I put up new ones every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And don't forget to check out, soon I will be doing my 500 subscriber giveaway. So check out my Instagram. I think today's the last day you can enter. And I'm giving away a free book and ask a question because I'm going to do a Q&A. I haven't done one of those yet. So thanks so much, and you have a wonderful day.